Hey everybody, welcome back to Spoon FUV. So I want to talk to you today about ultimate smoke stoppers. I know a lot of you have built the smoke stopper where you put a light bulb in an XT60 connector, and that works great, but here, this is an ultimate smoke stopper. It's a lab grade power supply, and I don't recommend that you buy one because they're expensive, they're bulky, they take up a lot of space. But looking around, I actually found this. And we'll take a little closer look at it, but it pretty much has the same functionality of this $600 supply in a $35 package. Have I piqued your interest? Let's look at it. So the cool thing about this over a smoke stopper is it is a adjustable power supply. So you can adjust what voltage you want and what current you want. So you set actual limits on it. So right now it's set to 12 volts and 0.7 amps. So it's not going to output. So it will output 12 volts until it bumps into that current limit of 0.7 amps, and then it will start damping the voltage back so that it won't ever output more than 0.7 amps, which means that you're not going to smoke components on your board, and you can actually, like, I can actually physically touch these together. So when they're on, if they're on, yeah, there we go. Now I'm touching them together, so you can see it's putting out. Now it's putting out. This is the set point is 12 volts. The output is actually 0 volts, and the current it's putting out is 0.7. So the limit is set, and that's there's this constant current and constant voltage mode. That's how power supplies work. And so now it's operating in constant voltage mode. So constant voltage is putting out 12 volts. What you really need to know is that, like, it prevents you from, like, over voltage and over current by setting limits. So you can power up your quadcopter or whatever it is that you're testing at the voltage that you want to test it at, and at the current that you expect, and it won't exceed that. There's a couple versions of this. This is the older version that I have here on my bench to show you, and this one outputs up to 20 volts and up to 2 amps, provided that you have a power supply that can deliver the 20 volts. So basically it's going to be able to output voltage, because it can only step down voltage. It's going to be able to output voltage up to like a few volts below whatever your input power is. And you can power these. So this doesn't come with any of the, I have a set of test leads on here, and this one actually goes to a wall power adapter that here, I'll unplug it so I can show you. So this is the wall adapter that I bought that goes up to 22 volts. So I'll put links for all that stuff in the description. And really, there's a couple of benchtop power supplies that I should also link in the description for you to look at as well, that are in the same price range when you start talking about having a set of test leads and a power line in. So check out a couple of different links that I'll put in there, and you make the decision. I like this one because it's small. The advantage to some of the benchtop ones is that they're a little bit, this one, the interface is a little bit clunky to set the different voltage output that you want. A lab grade one or a benchtop one that's a little bit bigger, that has a couple knobs on it, is a little easier to set. And the other thing is, I'm not 100% satisfied with the response time on this for the current limiting side of it. So it will actually overcurrent for you know, a few milliseconds, and then we'll actually drop the voltage down. And that's enough in some cases if you're dealing with sensitive electronics to destroy them. But really all I use it for is when here, let me turn it back off. So here we go. I'll grab. That was me moving my benchtop supply. So let me grab a quad here. So if you have a new quad build and you want to plug it in, you can either plug in an XT60 into the end of it, or before you solder the ends on, whatever you want. You can plug the power in, clip these on. Oh, come on. Clip these bad boys on. We'll turn it on, and I'm guaranteed not to get more than 0.7 amps. The props aren't going to spin up. If they do spin up, they're not going to have any power behind them. There's a lot of advantages to doing it this way over the smoke stopper, and it's basically, I know what current is going to go into it, and I also know what voltage is going to go into it. It's going to get the full voltage, and I'm always looking around for like a 5-volt supply or like a 12-volt supply or whatever. Like I need to power an LED or something. Like this is, it's by having it so small, and like you can plug in, I don't know, it's just right there, and I can set whatever voltage I want. So I really like having this, and you can take it to the field, and you don't have to have a wall adapter. You can put in, you know, a power lead in here and plug it and power it with, you know, some old battery or whatever that you have laying around. You know, I'd recommend a 6-cell for this because it's that way you can get the full 20 volts out of it versus, you know, if you use a 3-cell or whatever, you're going to be limited to like, you know, 11 or 12 volts output. But that's it. I'll put the link for this in the description. I'll put the link for the newer model in the description, and I'll put a link for a relatively inexpensive desktop power supply in the description as well. Check them all out. I think that it's a good tool to have in your toolbox. I like this one because I can take it to the field, but there are compelling arguments to buy the full benchtop one, being as like they're available in the same price range as this with a power supply and a couple of set of test leads. But, you know, thanks for watching. See you next week.